For the samosa and spring roll, I will be using 2 cups of flour for each recipe. Into the mixing bowl now, I will be adding 2 cups of flour. And after the 2 cups of flour, I will be adding 1 teaspoon of salt. Remember, they should all be leveled. And after that, I will be adding my half cup of water. And I will mix. I will mix to form a dough, and I will knead for 5 minutes. Now, the dough should be strong. It is not a soft dough, so don't say it is too strong. As long as the flour you are using is the normal flour you use for cakes. If it is a strong flour, you can go ahead and add a tablespoon of water. You can see the one there, the one I just showed you now, is the first one I have already made, and I've allowed it to rest for 15 minutes. While I cover this one I just made to rest, I will have to start with this. Now check it out. After 15 minutes, it will be as soft as what you are seeing now. And then you weigh it. Return your weighing scale to 0 and place it, and it is giving me 335 grams. Okay, now because I want to use each dough for spring roll, the other one for samosa, I'm going to be dividing this into 8 equal parts. So what I'll do is to divide the 335 grams by 8. This will give me 41.8 grams, which is approximately 42. So I'm going to be weighing all the dough to give me 42 grams. Only that one of them may be shortened by 2 grams. So after cutting them, you begin to turn them into balls. Now these are the 8 pieces. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is to start rolling out. And to roll, sprinkle some flour. Be generous about the flour. That's the only way it can give you round shape, and it will make your rolling pin to work easily on it. Now we are going to be working with 4 at a time. So as I'm rolling this now, I am going to be rolling extra 3, making it 4 doughs that I've rolled out. But I will be rolling out 2 behind camera. So you can see this is the second one, and my dough is ready. Get some vegetable oil with a brush inside it and begin to rub. Make sure the entire surface of the flat dough is touched, and then sprinkle some flour on top of it. Now the flour will help the dough to separate by the time you cook the dough. So this is what I'm going to be doing with the 3. The last one will only be used to cover it. That one, there will be nothing like vegetable oil on it. Now when you are sprinkling this flour, make sure it is not too much, as it's going to still make your flat dough to be thick, unnecessarily thick. Okay, so you can see I've been able to position all the 4 together. The next thing now is to use my palm to press down gradually, okay, so that all of them will be together before I will start rolling it. Now sprinkle some flour and start rolling it out. You have to roll it as flat as possible, to the extent it should be able to give you 12 inches by the time you measure the length. After the measurement, take it straight to heat using your non-stick pan that must have a cover, as it will help to cook the dough very well in order to make sure the heat is going around it. Now cover it. Continue to flip it over at intervals. I think I had it done total of 2 minutes to 3 minutes, and everything is ready. Now it all depends on your own heat. Just monitor it. If you try to separate it and it's not coming off like this, that means it's not yet cooked. return it to heat. If not, everything you have done will scatter. Did you see how I am removing it very easily? It is because I continue flipping over, none of them got burnt. You can see that. You can even see my hand because it's very light. Now cover it to keep it moist. For the spring roll, I will be dividing into 16 pieces. The total measurement is 334 grams and we are to divide into 16 balls. Okay, by the time we divide it by 16, it gave us 20.8 grams, which approximately is 21. Reducing one of them, shorting one of them by 1 or 2. Okay, all of them must not be the same. One must be smaller than the rest of them. So the same thing I did with the first one, I am repeating again. I had to roll out 4 balls at a time, join it together, and then straight to heat. Now the question is, why am I dividing this into 16? Because I do not want to divide it. It is an easy way to make your spring roll without having to use knife to divide the sheets. Now, if you don't want the spring roll to be as big as this one that I've already made, the balls, all you need to do is still divide the 16 into 2 again. That is the 16 balls, thereby getting 32 pieces. And this will make your dough more smaller. Okay, so for you to just go ahead and use your spring roll, all you need to do is divide it according to how you want to use it. Cook it the way it's supposed to be, and then when you get the sheet, you go ahead and roll. I'm going to be showing you how I will roll my sheets by the time it's ready. Okay, now if you go to places like everyday supermarkets to buy the ready-made ones, you find out that they are very tiny. So to get it as smaller as that, you can even go ahead dividing this particular dough that is 334 into 32 dough. Okay, 32 balls, and you roll out. Now the smaller the ball, the smaller the spring roll. Instead of having to cut the sheets of your spring roll, you do everything, and it will be more easy for you to get your spring roll directly with a complete sheet than dividing it. Now we have been able to pass through the application of vegetable oil and the flour. Okay, now we have joined it together. Always remember to use your palm and press them down together, then roll it flat. Now this time around, this one is going to be giving us 7 inches by 9, or you call it 9 inches by 7, whichever way, but the two sides are not the same. Okay, so after that, straight again to the heat using your non-stick pan. So you place it on heat and cover it again. Sometimes when you are making it, you'll be noticing that it's rising. Okay, you see the middle trying to rise up. Just be sure that you are in order. That is a way of separating them from one another. Okay, you can see it is very easy for me to do. So by doing this now, I don't need anybody to tell me that this is ready. I also did a lot of flipping over. Like I said, the highest I think I go on this is 3 minutes. So monitor it, do not allow it to burn. So you can see how light this is. I can still use this for my samosa. And for my samosas, I normally divide each sheet by 4. That is, if I want the samosas to be very small, I can use this particular sheet that I divided into 16. So by the time I use the 16, it will give me 16 times 4 samosas, which is about 64 pieces of samosas. For just 2 cups of flour dough. Now, I cut off all the strong parts around the edges of the sheets, and this is what I am left with. Very clean and very smooth. Okay, you can see how light it is. So now for the spring roll sauce, We place our saucepan on heat and add our 2 cooking spoons of vegetable oil. Next, you add your onions, your garlic, and your green pepper. The garlic is together with that of the green pepper. So immediately after the onions, I just stir fried a little and then I added my green pepper and that of the garlic. The next that goes in is the fresh pepper, which I already grinded, but because I am using the fresh pepper for that of samosa also, I only took half of it. I blended about 6 moderate sizes of our fresh pepper, the normal fresh pepper, which is also known as Scotch bonnet. Okay, and I am dividing it in order to give each one 3. Okay, now I've added my thyme and my curry and I am still stir frying. So next is my cabbage. Continue to stir fry until a little bit tender. Next, measure 2 tablespoons of flour into a bowl and add a 1/4 cup of water. Then mix together. This is going to serve as a binder to the sauce to bring everything together. So before adding the binder, which is the batter, go ahead and add your carrot. And after the carrot, you can now add your batter. Stir continuously so that the batter will be well distributed among the vegetables. Test to correct consistency. Add more salt if needed. Test again and finally remove from heat. Transfer sauce into a wider flat plate in order to cool down. And the spring roll sauce is now ready for use. Now to make the spring rolls, first of all you cut off the stronger part. But before I go ahead, let me first of all mix my flour and water, as that is what I'm going to be using to gum it together. So I decided to add a little flour into the bowl and then mix it together with water. And it has to be a little bit thick, not watery, and not too thick, okay? So now you remove all the carcass, all the strong parts of the wrappers. This is what I did on those ones I showed you that time, but these ones are a kind of rectangular in shape, so I didn't really do it to be pure round. Okay, now the carcass are still useful. When you fry them, they will just look like plantain chips. So now I have started. I first of all added my filling, and you see what I am doing. I bring the other 2 sides, that is the left and the right side, holding down the end part of it as I am rolling. Okay, so you apply the batter, then seal it up. Now I'm going to be repeating it again. Now pay close attention to what I am doing this time. I am applying my batter on the 2 sides, that is left and right. And then as I am holding it, I am tightening it, bringing the left and the right on top of what I am rolling and then rolling together. If you notice well, the batter I applied helped me this time to be able to hold it down. Now, if you want your spring rolls to be long, as you're folding in the left and the right side, you might decide not to go too far, that is bringing it too close to one another. And by so doing, your spring roll will be long. But if you want it to be short, just like this one. Now you see they almost meet, the left and the right. So how long and how short your spring roll is determines on how you fold in your left and right part. Okay, so this is what I'll be doing until I go round, that is until I finish it up, and my students here will also help me to complete it so that the video will not be too long. So now this is how far I've gone with the spring rolls. Okay, now I'm going over with that of the samosa sauce. I'll be frying this after I finish wrapping the samosas. So for the samosa sauce, here are my ingredients. First of all, place your saucepan on heat or your non-stick pan and add your 2 cooking spoons of vegetable oil, onions, garlic and green pepper. Stir fry and then add your stock cube, your fresh pepper and stir again. Then add your curry powder and your thyme and then stir. Now add your minced meat and make sure you use your spoon to crush it in order for it to mix well with the veggies. If you don't do this, it will just be lumpy. It will just cook in lumps and it's not good for what you're trying to make. Also add your salt and stir again. Now mix together 2 tablespoons of flour with a 1/4 cup of water until it is well dissolved. And then before you add into the veggies, first of all add your carrots, and after the carrot you can now finally add the batter. Now finally add the batter and continue to stir for at least another 1 minute. Then remove from heat. Pour into a flat plate to cool down. And then for the samosas, you get a sheet and divide it into 4. You can fold to get your measurement before you divide. Now pick up one sheet and start. Now this is like a triangle. You are not folding from the pointed part but rather from the wider part. Now watch my hand. My 2 hands are working at the same time. As the other one is folding, the other one is rising up and coming down in order to adjust for that part to be really well sealed. You just have to fold it like you are folding all this paper we normally use in those days to tie granite or something. And then add your filling and apply your batter so that it will be able to seal up. Okay, first of all bring it down, okay, before you now fold with the cover. And that is it. It is very simple. All you need to do is to just practice. Once you practice, you will get it. Now watch again. Halfway the wider side, and I bring the other side. Look at what my big thumb is doing. As I am folding, it is rising up and coming down in order to tighten that pointed part. And then you add your samosa filling again. Apply your batter. Seal up the down one first before you cover up with the longer part. So that is it. And your samosa is ready. This is what I'm going to be doing behind camera with my girls until we are through with it. But still watch me do it again. My two hands are working at the same time. Just watch. At any point in time, make sure you are not putting something that is more than what you have, more than the wrapper, okay? If not, you will not be able to close it, and when it is open, it will suck oil. So what I am putting is just moderate, and if you notice it's too much, just reduce it. So this is the 4 I have made. I'm going to be doing the rest behind camera. Now place the oil on heat and allow to heat up a little bit. You can see immediately I put in one, it started boiling. That means the oil is a bit hot, okay? And then fry. If you notice the oil is going too high, just lower it. After putting in all the samosas inside, I will just flip over at once for it to cook the second part. Now, samosa snacks is so good that you can package all of them unfried, that is without frying it, and put them into the fridge. Whenever you want to serve your guest or you have a visitor, you want to give the visitor samosas, you just go to your fridge, bring it out and fry and serve. That's the same way people that are selling in big supermarket are selling it fresh without being fried. So that's what makes it so unique. But one thing is sure, you must have a standby light for your fridge to be able to carry the samosa for you. The same way you fried the samosa is the same way you are going to be frying the spring roll. Just flip over and then remove from heat by the time it's golden brown. Now you can now fry the carcass. The carcass, like I said, will always come out very nice and crunchy by the time you are done. So our samosas and spring rolls are ready. It's looking so yummy, so appetizing. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.